Hello friends, I'm Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another tier ranking video where you give me a theme and I hurt your feelings about a lot of books. If you didn't catch my last tier ranking video, it's a good time. I rank different items from books throughout history. I rank food on book covers. I rank all of my favorite books from the last like 5 years. Today what I have for you is user suggested tier rankings. You suggested this video to begin with, so thank you. And we're going to rank the worst books I've ever read, all of the Literally Dead Book Club selections, and my top 10 most viewed videos. We're gonna start with that category because I don't actually know what those videos are and I thought it might be fun to guess. I saw Murphy do this a couple months ago and I'm pretty sure that was inspired by somebody else, so I'll make sure to link anything down below. So I think she guessed like what her most viewed videos of all time were and then went and checked them out and then decided like to private some of them. Pretty much anything that's over 2 years old on my channel, unless it's like a fun secret TBR or themed vlog of some sort, it's private. That's just how I decide to organize things. So before we sort by most viewed, actually I need to start screen recording. So if I were to guess my most viewed videos, I think I have a good idea of what they are. Maybe I should write them down. I definitely won't get the order right except the first one. I know that my most viewed video of all time is my bookshelf 7 ways to reorganize your bookshelf video. That has like 600,000 views. Besides that, I could not even tell you how many views the next video has. I think it goes down to like 100,000 for the rest of the list. And I think we're gonna see 4 different Goodreads related videos. My reading my lowest rated Goodreads books, my highest rated Goodreads books, all the thrillers of the year, and then all the thrillers of the year again. And then I think it'll be any videos where I mention other booktubers because that's like an attention grabbing thumbnail. I read booktuber recommendations, and then I read booktubers favorites from their favorites videos. But then I did another one where I follow a specific booktuber's TBR for the month, but that wasn't actually a vlog. That was like a TBR video. That was a beginning of the month, here's what I'm doing for the month kind of video. And I don't know if that one will be in the top 10 because there's like no vlog. So that's my top 7. After that, I thought I knew, but I don't think. It's got to be some kind of secret TBRs, like there's something I'm forgetting for sure. Oh, maybe it's one of the ones where like I don't rate books for a month, or I read the same amount of pages every day for a month. Maybe not. Oh no, this is harder than I thought. Oh, reading like a Visco girl. Oh, and reading like an Aries. Maybe. Now let's look. Sort by most popular. Okay, bookshelf. Reading booktuber recommendations, reading the lowest rated books on my TBR, reading booktuber favorites. Oh, reading the 116. Oh my god, my bookshelf tour. Okay, I definitely didn't think that that would be on there. Reading the same amount of pages every day is higher than I thought it would be. And then reading the top thrillers, reading like a Visco girl, reading the highest rated books, reading thrillers. That's the cutoff. So those are the top 10. There's nothing too surprising there. Okay, cool. Oh, now I have to rank them? Hold on, I gotta take screenshots of this and build a tier rank board. Okay, so the tiers I've chosen for this are clickbait, as in it only got views, not because it's a good video, but because it's like easily watchable and like grabbed attention. The next one is watchable, as in solid video, I'm glad it's up there, I enjoy it. And unwatchable, as in like it's not good. It shouldn't be in the top 10. I maybe wish it wasn't there. If we included all of like my private videos, none of them would be in this top 10 anyway, but like if we were just talking about my videos overall, there's a ton of videos that I genuinely hate. So let's start with reading the 10 best thrillers of the year. I think that's watchable. I'm sure clickbait like got it to where it was, but I do think my exploration of the Goodreads awards, even as like non-investigative as it is, like I'm not trying to say, oh, I really like talked about the award structure. I do think the concept is interesting. I think I was the first person to do it. Yeah, so the next year I did it again. And still consider it watchable. That one is way too long. I think that's the first hour-long video maybe I ever put out, and I got a lot of bad feedback for that. Next up, reading the highest rated books on my TBR. Oh, that is unwatchable. Of the top 10, like if I had to delete a video, that would be the one. I definitely did not express myself well. As you can see, it's a 35-minute video. Back when I was trying to keep things short and concise, and because of that, I over-edited myself. And I really hate how I came across about a lot of the books. And there's a lot of books on that list that I shouldn't have even read. I think we all know that. In contrast, reading the lowest rated books on my TBR, I think, oh, it probably only has views because it's clickbaity, but I do think that was a more interesting video than the highest rated books. And I think I ended up really loving some books from it. But there are like some extreme opinions in that video, and that's always fun to watch. I loved some books and I hated some books. And so I think that one was, sorry, my chair is loud. That one's more interesting in my opinion. Bookshelf tour, that's purely clickbait. I only did that video because I knew people would watch it. Like, I don't watch bookshelf tours. I don't really care to like share my bookshelf. It's the only bookshelf tour I've ever done. And originally I didn't even do it because I wanted to do it. I was doing it for a bigger experiment of like doing all of the biggest booktube clickbait trends. That video I didn't follow through with. You can listen to me talk about it in my videos I canceled video. Regardless, I think it's fine. It's just like, it's not that interesting of a video for me. Same with the 7 ways to organize your bookshelf. I personally like don't like this video. I wish there were even more ways that I did it. I wish I did it better. It's not edited in a great way because I had to like put blocks of color so you couldn't see certain things. I don't think I look good in that video. And there's one moment in that video that still drives me nuts, and it's the #1 thing I get comments on to this day. And it's when I put the alphabet letters on the shelves and they kept falling over because I got flimsy ones. I wish that the Michaels that I went to at the time had like the thick letters, but they kept falling over, and like I couldn't fit all of the books properly with the letter being annoying. And so I say in that video, I'm not going to rewatch it, but I say something like, this was arduous to keep up with. And I meant the letter, like the letter itself. It was how to organize your bookshelves. I wasn't saying organize your bookshelves by the alphabet. I was saying like organize your bookshelves by the alphabet and then put letters in to distinguish the sections. And the letters were making my life hell. It took me like days to film that part. And so many comments are like, how is organizing your bookshelf by the alphabet not, like how does that not work for you? Like, why would you say that's not realistic to keep up with? And I just must have phrased it in like a wrong way or something, because I get people so mad at me in the comments of that video. I literally got a comment yesterday about it. Anyway, pure clickbait, not a great video. I feel the same way about this one. I'm going to go at the end. Reading 116 pages every day for a month, that is pure clickbait, and I did it for the clickbait. You know what drives me nuts more than anything is all of the, if you go to reading, like literally search reading books. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with making bookish content as like not a booktuber. Like, I'm not saying that at all. But as a booktuber, looking at somebody who makes like other content and has like so many subscribers and so many views already, when they make a bookish video and they get millions of views, there's nothing wrong with it, and like there's no competition, but like part of me is always like, oh my god, it's so nuts that like we're all over here and we're struggling to like surpass this like threshold that booktube is stuck in of like under 200,000 subscribers for most people. Meanwhile, somebody with like 1 million subscribers can put out a bookish video and get millions of views. And obviously it's about their fan base and their audience, and they've built that, and that's so great for them. But like 2 million views on a guy reading book recommendations. PewDiePie, 7 million views because he read 720, like that's impressive for sure. And I know a lot of people like are interested in that type of content and wouldn't be interested in a booktube channel that's like only about books. I'm not criticizing anything here. It's just wild. So I definitely did that challenge like because it was interesting to me, but also because like I want an attention grabbing title too. Next up, reading like a Visco girl. This one's hard because I want to put it in clickbait because like obviously the whole goal with doing it was interesting to me, but also like it's a trendy topic. But it's a good video. Like it's a long vlog. It looks through different people. It finds the books. Like I personally love videos where the person is discovering their TBR with you, like not just reading it with you. I explored a lot of things. I think I was kind in that video. I get a lot of comments saying like, thank you for not bashing the community of Visco girls. A lot of people probably clicked on it thinking it was going to be one thing, and I'm glad that they seem pleasantly surprised by what it was. So I do consider it watchable. Reading booktuber recommendations, I think that one's watchable. Yeah, the two booktube ones I would call watchable. I liked them. I don't tend to put up videos that I don't enjoy myself. Obviously there's a clickbaity element to it, but I don't think it necessarily has views because of that. I mean, it does have views because of that, but I also think that it's not clickbait because you get what you signed up for. Like it is what you think it is. It's not like attention grabbing and then it's something unwatchable. Let's just rank the Literally Dead book club picks. I listed them as iconic, solid, meh, and woof. So there have been 10 selections this year. There will be 10 selections next year. This is my mystery thriller horror book club. And if you know my ratings for all of these books, I just broke my pen. You already know where they're gonna end up. I'm really sorry that we made you read Platform 7. That was not a good time for anybody. I'm really sorry we made you read Zone 1. For me, it's more of like a meh, but like objectively as a book club selection. No shade for anybody who loved it, but as far as like conversations to be had and like, I'm thinking more of like the book club members and how much they enjoyed both the reading experience and the discussion and everything. Those were clearly like the bottom of the, you know. We have yet to do the live show for One by One or The Only Good Indians, so those ones are definitely harder to give an objective opinion about. I would put Fragments of the Lost under meh. I know we never did a live show. I did discuss it in another video at some point. I shouldn't choose YA. I knew I shouldn't choose YA. It was a weird time, coronavirus. Like the whole book club was a mess. That was not the best decision. The other people, I think was meh for most people. You Are Not Alone was meh for most people. Home Before Dark I think was a solid pick. The guest list was probably the most iconic selection, that there was a lot to talk about and there was a lot of good feedback for. Catherine House, for me, iconic. I think for everybody, I wouldn't say woof, but I would give it a meh. I don't agree, but objectively, I understand that it wasn't quite what any of us were expecting. It was more of a Kayla pick than a Literally Dead book club pick, okay? The Only Good Indians, I feel like, is getting really high praise, and I think people are enjoying it. Now I'm gonna give it an iconic. Fight me. One by One, I would put in solid. I think it's a solid thing to discuss. But I'm gonna put that in meh. Wow, my own book club not looking good for me. So let's hope we have even better selections for 2021. All of these tier rankings are also available on my tier ranking list for anybody else to fill out, and you can change the categories to anything you want. Okay, next tier rank. Hi, me again. I'm apparently filming this over a couple different days. The sun keeps going down. My son keeps interrupting me. It's actually been a week since I created these, so I know I have one in here called Least Favorite Books, which is one of my most requested ones to do. And I'm gonna try my best to remember my justifications for these tiers. I basically pulled every single 1-star and a couple 2-stars from my Goodreads, of the last 5 years. All of my all-time least favorite books. And my tiers are as follows. Espresso shot. Remember, these are things I don't like. If this was a Starbucks drink chart tier of drinks I do like, there'd only be 2 things on there. chai and lemonade. Like the lemonade straight out of the carton. So I have no taste. Let's establish that before you get offended by my lowest rated drinks at Starbucks. Espresso shot. I'm not mad at. An espresso shot is something that I don't enjoy in the moment, but there's something there. You know, it does something for me. Upon reflection, I do enjoy that I consumed the espresso shot. It has its place in the world. Espresso shot. The next here is pumpkin spice latte, which is a drink that has elements that I should enjoy, but for some reason, once combined, is one of the most disgusting things I've ever had in my life. So books are gonna go in that category that like I could have liked and I picked up because I thought there was something there, but there was not. Next is a matcha latte, and that's purely a preference. I will put books in this category that I respect. I understand that it's just not for me, and everybody else who enjoys it, there is reasoning behind it. Maybe we all grew up different, maybe we all have different taste buds. That's the matcha latte. Next is the vampire frappuccino, which is basically a drink I do not remember consuming, but I remember my hatred for it. So I probably won't know the elements of the book at all, no memory of reading it, but I recall a disgusting taste in my mouth after. Next is the white chocolate mocha, which is, in my opinion, one of the most offensive things that has ever come out of Starbucks. I know there are people who enjoy it. I don't understand why, and I want to respect it, but I'm not sure I can. Oh my god, please nobody take me too seriously. Last is the pink drink, which is just something that shouldn't exist. Something that roped me in with the promise of, you know, the strawberries, but turned out to be disgusting, vile, offensive, and that I wouldn't recommend to anybody. Let's get started. Ooh, the flame alphabet. That's a pink drink. The perfect example of a pink drink. Offensive. Don't think that I'm saying if you enjoy the pink drink that you will also enjoy the flame alphabet. These are not recommendations. I am not roping you in to the flame alphabet if you enjoy the pink drink. However, interesting video concept. If you have a favorite drink on this list, read all the books in that category and tell me what you think. Maybe they'll be your new favorite books. The flame alphabet is about the voices of children, Jewish children, that can kill people. The author takes us down 3 different routes and does a lot of things that I hate a lot. Next is Slammed. We're getting right in there with the divisive Colleen Hoover stuff. Slammed is gross and bad, but also has an audience and just isn't for me. I'm sure Pink Drink has an audience, but I don't know who they are. Okay, I'm actually probably gonna put all new adult romance into the same category. Here's the thing. I tried the white chocolate mocha because it was a different time in my life. I thought maybe because other people enjoy this thing, I will enjoy this thing. And I was wrong. So easy. But you know what? I barely remember it. We're going to put that in white chocolate mocha. Fallen Too Far, white chocolate mocha. The Edge and Ever, white chocolate mocha. All of these new adults, I think, are pretty bad. There are some new adult romances that I have enjoyed. It's just rare, and I recognize it's not my place in literature. Coincidence of Callie and Caden. What else do I have in here more than this? If you ask me to tell you the plot of these, I could not distinguish them from each other. Sincerely Carter. Oh, The Way We Fall. Sure. There are maybe 2 remaining that wouldn't fit into that category because they belong elsewhere. One of them is First Touch by Laura Lynn Page. I'm gonna make this a premiere. I just decided. So I would love to hear, I'm sure you've already shared your opinions with me about these drink choices. Sound off in the live chat. But also if you want to guess any of these, maybe I'll pause for a second so you have a moment between some of these choices. First Touch. You may not have been around when I read this. It's an espresso shot. I read very few books and plan to read the sequel. I own the sequel of First Touch. I think it's called Last Kiss. There was something about it. I'm sure it had all of the tropes that traditionally make me not enjoy new adult romance. And I think this one had all of them, and this is a 2-star. But I I have to read the sequel. I don't know when. It's been like 4 years now. And I know I have to reread First Touch before I do that, so that's probably why I'm waiting. Okay, the other one is Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. Do you want to take a guess? What do you think? What do you think? It's a pink drink, which works because the cover is pink. I thought this book was offensive. Terribly written. Listen, the thing about books that I hate is I don't spend much time thinking about them. And so I didn't research, you know, these books before deciding to make this part of the video. So I don't want to get anything wrong, and I do not recall a lot of elements about books. But I'm pretty sure Without Merit was like homophobic, transphobic. I know people took issue with like the religious conversations in it. I mean, every trope was in it, from the cheating to the twins fighting over a boy, and like, it was just shameful. I don't know why it exists. If you love it, just like the pink drink, I am truly happy for you. Now I'll start from the edge again. The Fifth Wave, Vampire Frappuccino. I truly do not remember anything about this book, but I remember really not liking it. The Cuckoo's Calling is interesting because I did give it 2 stars, but I don't remember a lot of it, and it's a mystery, so like, no, I don't think there were any elements that I thought I would like. It was one of those books that I bought so early on in booktube just because everyone was talking about it, and I really truly hated it and what it had to say and what it was about. I'm gonna put it in the pink drink. Like, I don't get it. The Foxhole Court. What do you think? I think a lot of you already can guess this one because I have read the sequel. Don't know why I've been putting myself through it, but I have. It's an espresso shot. Don't get me wrong, it is not good. It is probably offensive, but I do strangely reflect on it kind of fondly, much like an espresso shot. Bleed Like Me, I wish I remembered more of. I do remember that the things that other people took issue with, I didn't take issue with, because like the ending was a lot. It's a really underread book. I'm sure most of you probably haven't heard of it, or not underread because I don't think you would probably like it. I think I just have to leave it in Vampire, which is, you know, there's blood on it, so that makes sense. All the Bright Places, if you had asked me this like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I read it, I probably would have said pink drink, but as a grown adult, reflecting upon books of this nature, I do understand that people have certain takeaways from this book. So while I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, I respect the people who got something from it. I do have quite a few in here that are just like YA contemporary, and I'm pretty picky in that age range. So Let's Get Lost just wasn't for me. Let's not touch Dangerous Lies yet. Other YA romance, The Problem with Forever, I think is a romance, but I don't think I even remember enough about it. Dangerous Lies. I think I've referred to this as my least favorite book of all time, and I really don't think that that's fair, because there are like overtly offensive books here. So Dangerous Lies is more of a white chocolate mocha. I don't get it. I think the writing is terrible. I think everything is terrible. So many plot holes, so many relationships that make no sense. I'll just never get over the fact that she starts the book with a boyfriend, and then we literally like never hear about him again, and she just finds a new boyfriend, and there's never any closure. I shouldn't care about the activities of a 15-year-old in a YA mystery, but I do. We'll Never Be Apart is actually one that I want to reread. I should have had a tier that was like a drink I would try again, which would probably be a nitro cold brew, because I will never try the Vampire Frappuccino again, because it was chocolate and fruit, which are, I don't understand. I couldn't even tell you the plot of that one, but I remember being adamant that it was terrible. The Vegetarian is my first pumpkin spice latte. It's a book that was set up to be a weird story that I thought I would love, and it just didn't work for me. On the Road. In its time, it's fine. If people want to praise it as a classic, that's fine. I don't think there's any reason to read On the Road in this day and age besides like wanting to read it for its importance in literature. I don't yeah, I don't. The Becoming of Noah Shaw. I really did not like this book. However, it's a spin-off sequel, so like, don't I have to put it in espresso shot? Because as a series and as a world, like, I do enjoy the Mara Dyer trilogy. However, if I reread it, I might completely change my tune. Okay, Dead Ringer, also not something that I remember, but something I remember hating. Never Missing, Never Found, same thing. I think a lot of YA mystery, just like, I can't recall any aspect of it. Nixia, definitely a pumpkin spice latte. Space Training, I should have liked it. It had elements I would enjoy, but it didn't work. Same with The Hike, so weird. I recommend it to all my friends who love weird stuff, but that one did not work. Vampire Stories from Western Canada. Of course, I couldn't go one video without editing Kayla having to pop in. I don't think I need to, actually, but it's campfire. It's campfire. Campfire Stories. Western Canada. Vampire Stories in Western Canada. That sounds cooler. Not offensive, but really bad. So, Leave Me by Gail Forman is just not for me. I've realized that like most adult contemporary that just revolves around like a relationship and a wife who is like escaping her family and wanting to like escape her reality and all of that stuff, like I respect it and I respect people who want to read something like that, but it's just not for me. I'm the demographic for it, but I do not typically enjoy the storyline. The Traitor's Kiss, I really don't remember, and I think that's a 1 star. Like, I hated that a lot. I think it might have been offensive, but not enough that I can recall. This Darkness Mine was too weird and nonsensical for me, and I would not recommend it to the average person. Girl, in its time, I understand that it was like a revolutionary kind of story, one of the first of its kind, where like we really discussed teenage sexuality and was bold, but was a book I truly hated. So that one's hard, but I'm gonna put it here. One of Us is Lying, a YA mystery that is just not for me. Save the Date, just not for me. If you love all Morgan Matson, you probably love it. A lot of these, keep in mind, I read a really long time ago. I would say over half of these books I read before I really knew what I liked to read, or I read them for videos. Pretty Dead Girls, I barely remember. Oh no, that's the one about a girl and like all of her friends start dying, but she still like keeps going to school every day, and it's like the most ridiculous, over the top YA thriller. I do remember that one. Adultolescence. Yeah, of all of these books, the most hate I've gotten, it makes sense that it's been a book by Gabby Hanna, who is a YouTuber and a well-known figure. However, the argument that a book, a poetry collection, is satire or is supposed to be funny and you're not supposed to take it seriously, that being a reason why people think that I shouldn't be giving it 1 star makes no sense to me. Like, just because it's supposed to be funny doesn't make it funny and doesn't make it good. Maybe I'm not the target demographic, maybe I don't have taste, but it's not it. All of This Is True had all of the elements of a book that I should have loved. It was about a famous author, it was about a group of friends, it was about secrets and lies, and there was a book inside a book before I realized I didn't love that. But now I've come back around and I think I do like that. But books like this convinced me that I didn't, because it was one of the most convoluted stories I've ever read. There was a book inside a book inside a book, and not in a smart way. And I wish I had made a whole nother category that was like, we could call it, I don't know, like what's a Starbucks drink that came out and it was bad and they like changed it and then re-released it and it was good. Let me know if there's been a drink like that, because I feel like if she had taken a couple more years to develop it, it could have been incredible, but it it wasn't right. The Book of Joan. What do you guys think? What do you think? On one hand, it had some elements that I could have enjoyed, but it was offensive. It was bad. Its hot takes about sexuality and gender, while they seemed like they were going in a direction that was empowering, I think that book was terrible. It did it terribly. Baby teeth. Oh, baby teeth. That's definitely a matcha latte. I don't get it, but when I picked it up, I didn't really know what I was getting into, and that type of book, just about like a child and parent relationship that is really destructive and dangerous, isn't something that I would pick up normally. So that's just a different taste thing. Stags. I know you all think I'm gonna put this in a pink drink, but I'm not. I think it's a white chocolate mocha. I think it's kind of objectively bad, but I don't remember, maybe I'm recalling it poorly, but I don't remember it being offensive and upsetting and like, why does this book exist? I just think it was terrible. Cross Her Heart. I have 2 Sarah Pinboroughs in here, and I really don't remember which one is which. I think Dead to Her is the one more recently came out, and it's about a couple couples, and it was the most boring thing I've ever consumed. I don't have a boring category because the drinks that I enjoy are boring. I don't think there's any Starbucks drink that I would consider boring, and that's why I hated it. So where would I put Dead to Her? I think it was pretty offensive. I think it was actually terrible. Cross Her Heart was just bad for me. It had tropes that I hate. It was a really boring book, and then it had one of my most hated twists, which I'm not really gonna get into. So like, it was bad, but maybe just for me. Matcha. The Witch Elm, I don't understand why anybody likes, but I recognize that I'm not. Actually, the next 3 all fit there. These, are they all UK? Are they all UK mysteries? I don't know. They all just had something that bugged me. The Nanny was just like boring and predictable. The Witch Elm wasn't really a mystery to me, and I don't really get it. So that's fine there. 10,000 Doors of January. I think it had really interesting things to say. Here's the thing. The 10,000 Doors of January, I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk negatively about. So it's kind of one of those books that I've been, like, I had problems with, and I am very concerned about the representation, but I've never seen anybody call it out for, you know, discussing what it discussed and having the characters that it had and being written by the author that it was written by. I haven't seen any issues with this combination of things, so I'm just gonna call it something I don't understand, but if other people like it, then that's fine. So we're gonna call it just a me thing. Sidelines is a really old poetry collection. I read it so long ago, but I remember it being one of the worst things I have ever read. But again, don't remember if it was actively upsetting, you know? The June Boys could have been amazing. A combination of so many things that I could have enjoyed, but it just completely missed the mark. And then How to Be Single. I don't understand why this book exists. I truly don't get it. But I don't think it was, like, again, offensive. It was just about a bunch of grown women, and I thought it was gonna, like, be them taking charge of their independence or their sexuality or like something, because it seemed like it was trying to talk about something, and then it went completely left field, and I don't understand. Like, it wasn't interesting, it wasn't funny, it wasn't educational, it wasn't shocking, it was like, I felt nothing reading it, and I was like, why does this book exist? So that's my official tier ranking of all of my least favorite books. I just realized that this video is getting really long. I wanted to do 4 tier ranks, but I think I might have to leave this one for its whole own dedicated video, and that is my top 50 mystery thrillers of all time. So let me know what you want me to talk about with these books, because I originally made this tier ranking of God tier, highly recommend, selectively recommend, and just like actually good YA. But the thing is, I don't want to spoil any of these books, so I hope this wasn't too long and boring. It probably was, but I appreciate you being here. If you were in the live chat, please go in after and leave a comment down below anyway, so my engagement stays normal. The YouTube algorithm sucks lately, so I will see you in a couple days. Can't wait to hear how many things I made you mad about in this video. Bye!